Hey guys, today I'll be going over my prediction for the 2020 presidential election between Republican incumbent Donald Trump and Democratic former Vice President Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden currently leads in the national polling by 9.4%, and he currently has a favorability rating of, I believe, 48% compared to Donald Trump, who has an approval rating of 40% and a disapproval rating of 55%. I do these types of prediction videos every 2 weeks at the beginning of the month and in the middle of the month, and this is my prediction for the beginning of July. Now, in my last video in the middle of June, I had Joe Biden winning the election with 336 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 202. However, I will tell you now that Joe Biden will probably win by an even larger margin according to my prediction at the moment. Joe Biden's lead of 10% really is astonishing, considering that Hillary Clinton was never able to have, even a 8% lead ever since she won the nomination. She did have a 10% lead over Donald Trump in January before either of them won their party's nomination. However, Hillary Clinton's lead stayed at around 4 to 5% for the entire election cycle. Now, for this map, I'll be filling in the safe Democratic states. These are all states that traditionally vote with the Democratic Party by pretty strong margins. These being states in the West Coast, Hawaii, most of the Northeast, with the exception of Maine and New Hampshire, as well as the state of New York and Barack Obama's home state of Illinois. Next, for the Republicans, I will give Donald Trump the Midwest. These are all typically Republican states, except for the 2nd District of Nebraska, as well as Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, most of the Deep South, along with Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and Alaska. I'll also be including Colorado as a safe Democratic state for this election prediction, as he leads by over 18% in the state. Hillary Clinton only won the state by 5%. However, Biden's lead is just really huge in the state at the moment. Now we have all of the swing states for the 2020 election. Biden currently has 191 and Trump has 125. I will be going in the order basically in which I think the states that Joe Biden has the highest chance of winning to the states in which he has the lowest chance of winning. So first is the state of Virginia. Virginia went to Hillary Clinton by 5.4% in 2016. However, currently Biden has an 11-point lead, so this is pretty likely for the former vice president. Next is the state of New Mexico. New Mexico currently leads Biden by 13 points. Hillary Clinton won this state by 8.3% in 2016, so I think it won't be too hard for Biden to win this state for the Democrats again. Next is the state of Minnesota. Although Minnesota has been won by a Democrat since 1976, making it the longest-running Democratic state, Hillary Clinton only won the state by 1.5%, which is why I put this in the toss-up column. However, with a 7-point lead in the state at the moment, I will give the state of Minnesota to Vice President Joe Biden. Next is the state of Nevada. Nevada went to Hillary Clinton by only 2.4%, which is pretty abysmal compared to Barack Obama, who won this state by over 12% in 2008. And Biden currently has an 8-point lead in Nevada, so I don't think winning Nevada will be too hard for the former vice president either. Next is the state of New Hampshire. This state was nearly won by Secretary Clinton in 2016. She won the state by 0.4%. Compared to Barack Obama, who won the state by over 6% 4 years earlier. And in the state of New Hampshire, Biden currently leads by 7.7%, so I will give New Hampshire to the Democratic Party. Next is the state of Maine. The 1st District of Maine is the toss-up district. I do think it leans Republican at the moment. 2nd District, it does lean Republican at the moment. It went to Donald Trump in 2016. However, the 1st District and Maine at large has gone to the Democrats since 1992. And I think it won't be too much of a problem for the vice president. Next is the 2nd District of Nebraska. Not much polling data comes out of these congressional districts. Hillary Clinton lost the 2nd District of Nevada of Nebraska in 2016. However, Joe Biden did win it twice with Barack Obama, so I think he will win the state the 2nd District of Nebraska. Next, we have the state of Arizona. Arizona, although went to Donald Trump in 2016 and a Republican since 1996, the Democrats are becoming a larger voting bloc in the state of Arizona. Biden currently leads by over 4% in the state, so I think he will win in the state of Arizona. Next, we'll be looking at the 3 Rust Belt states, these being Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. These states all went to Donald Trump by less than 1% in 2016, and these are all states that Trump was supposed to lose. First, we'll be looking at the state of Wisconsin, in which Joe Biden leads by 6.6%. This was a state in which Donald Trump won by 22,000 votes, and I think Joe Biden has a very real chance of flipping the state back for the Democrats, as Wisconsin has traditionally been a Democratic state. Next is the state of Michigan, in which Joe Biden actually has a 10.2% lead in this state. This state, of course, has gone to a Democrat since 1992, with the exception of 2016, when Donald Trump won very narrowly by only 0.2%. However, with an even 10% lead, I do think Joe Biden will have a likely margin in this state, instead of the lead margin seen in Wisconsin. Next is the state of Pennsylvania. This is Joe Biden's home state. He leads by 5 points here. The state went to Trump by 0.7% in 2016. However, Biden is very likely to be able to flip this state for the Democrats in 2020. Next, we'll be looking at the Southeast. First, we'll be looking at the state of Florida. This state went to Biden and Obama in 2008 and 2012. One of the states that Barack Obama did not lose in his second election bid. In 2016, the state went to Trump by 1.2%. However, Joe Biden leads by over 7% in the state at the moment. So I think this is pretty likely for the vice president. Although he leads by 7 points, I don't think he will win by 7 points. I think he'll win by a smaller margin. However, a win nonetheless. Next is the state of Georgia. Georgia currently leans Biden by around 1.5 points. The state has gone to a Republican since 1996. Trump won this state by over 5 points in 2016. However, Georgia is experiencing a lot of coronavirus exposure at the moment. Its coronavirus numbers are increasing pretty quickly, especially in the Atlanta area. So I think this is a pretty negative aspect for the president, and I think Joe Biden will be able to narrowly win in the state of Georgia. Next is the state of North Carolina. North Carolina currently leans Biden by around 2 points. The state of North Carolina has gone to a Republican in recent elections, won by Mitt Romney and Donald Trump. Trump won this state by 3.6% in 2016. However, Biden, with a over 2-point lead in this state, I think he will be able to narrowly carry the state of North Carolina for the Democratic Party. Next, we'll be looking at the state of Ohio. This is a bellwether state for the entire country, as the winner in Ohio has gone on to become the president in the past 60 years. Donald Trump won this state by 8 points in 2016, and he did become president. However, if this were to stay true at the moment with 350 electoral votes, this state would have to go to Joe Biden. Also, Joe Biden does lead by over 2 points in this state, so I think Joe Biden will narrowly win in the state of Ohio. Next is the state of Iowa. In the state, surprisingly, Joe Biden actually leads by around 0.3%. In the state of Iowa, Trump won this state by almost 10% in 2016. However, I do think Trump will still be able to carry the state. This state is becoming more and more Republican, as it went to Trump by 10% in the last election. So I think Joe Biden will be able to have a very strong turnout in the state of Iowa. However, I do not think he will carry the state. Next is the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, this state has gone to a Republican since 1980. Trump won the state by 9 points in 2016, and recently there's been a lot of talk about the state of Texas becoming purple. I think this is definitely true. Joe Biden is only behind in this really red state by less than 0.5%. So I think Biden definitely does have a chance. he has probably the largest chance of any Democrat in recent political history. However, I do think Trump will be able to eke out a tiny win in the state of Texas. Now, this map just goes to show you how much trouble the Trump campaign is in at the moment, as he only leads in 2 swing states out of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, there's over 12 swing states, and Trump only leads in 2 of them. He also leads in the 2nd district of Maine. However, that only gives you 1 electoral vote. So, for my prediction in the beginning of July, I predict that Joe Biden will win 360 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 170. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like as well as subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.